What I'm going to do in this video is just a very short, simple video on this sleeping bag, why I chose it, and some early thoughts about it. First things, PhD, Peter Hutchinson Designs, sent this to me. I reached out to them. I asked if they would be prepared to send me something, and they very kindly replied back and, you know, said what would I like. I wanted something that was different to all the other Peter Hutchinson, to all the other PhD stuff that I have, because I've been using and buying PhD sleeping bags for the last 10 odd years. Well, I say that, I bought them 10 odd years ago, and they've kind of lasted me all that time, never had any problems ever, and they will probably carry on giving me stellar service probably long after I'm in a 6 foot down or something. I have their quilt, the rectangular quilt that they made, and I bought that, I don't know, 8-10 years ago. There's a video on that a very long time ago. I have a +4 degrees sleeping bag, and I have a -5 degree sleeping bag. Given they said yes, I could have something, I wanted to choose something that I didn't have, you know, that was a little bit different to my current PhD lineup. So this one here, this is the M.Degree sleeping bag. This is really for ultralight racers or summer campers who appreciate PhD quality. It's got their 1000 down in it. PhD do not use water resistant down. They think it's a gimmick, and personally I think it's a gimmick as well, because I've been using their stuff without hydro whatever down and never had a problem in 10+ years, and I camp in all weathers in all sorts of different kinds of shelters. So I don't really know why everybody else keeps getting problems with wet sleeping bags, but I've never had that problem. I'll tell you a few bits about it. First of all, this one, and I didn't bring it with me, but it does come with a foot cover which you can clip on here. So if perchance you're someone who maybe sweats a lot or something like that, or you do get damp down, then you can get a water resistant cover that goes around the foot end. So some people might find that, you know, might find that useful. I noticed some white stuff down there. I don't know whether that's sweat or salt from my feet. I always wear socks, so that's interesting. Anyone know what that is? It's quite likely could be sweat or something, I guess, but it's never been damp. I went for a short zip. You can get this with a long zip, you can get it with no zip. I like to have a zip, but I didn't really see the point of a long zip. It was going to add extra weight, which I don't think is necessary. I think the sleeping bag is already light enough and also ready for warmer weather without the need for a zip. If it's that warm that you need a long zip, you know, you could theoretically turn it into a quilt and just put that over you, but then you're going to be just as warm anyway, in which case you're going to be getting out or putting it to one side or something. So I thought better save the weight and just have a short zip. And also the other reason why I went short zip is, whilst drafts are blocked, you know, with a wind barrier here, you do have a baffle on here, you know, drafts are more likely to get through a zip. Now, so I was kind of like thinking, well, if the temperatures drop a little bit below what this is capable of doing, this is a 10 centigrade sleeping bag, and if it did get a little bit colder, I'm kind of thinking that better to have down here rather than rather than a zip. So I kind of went with that thought process in my mind as well. You get a hood with this, which I must admit I tend to just use to put my pillow in and keep it in one place. But again, you know, if the temperature went down a little bit too much, then you could cinch that around you, and obviously you've got a, you know, obviously you've got a bungee cord, draw cord there, you know, to snuggle down into, you know, if needed. I mean, like I said, it's a 10-degree sleeping bag, so, you know, don't expect to be warm at below 5 degrees. You might be okay at 5, but you know, I think if it's 5 degrees or something like that, you're going to be needing a jacket or something. I went for medium because I like to have a, you know, a medium sized sleeping bag. It just means I can move around a little bit more. I went for red because all my other PHD sleeping bags are black, and I just wanted, you know, a different color. If you're interested, I don't have any links or anything like that, but you know, check them out on their website. They are ridiculously expensive. We're not even going to discuss price, you know, of PHD stuff, but you do get what you pay for, and it's made in England. Oh, some specifications for you. Weight, apparently it's the lightest sleeping bag in the world. 345 grams. So I don't know whether anyone has a lighter sleeping bag than 345 grams, but one other thing just to mention about the M.Degree sleeping bag is that the top half is baffled. So in other words, you know, the down has little box wool in it running running the length across, so it is a box wool on the top, but to save weight on the bottom, it's sewn through little squares. Just notice that actually. So the bottom has little sort of rectangles sewn through that slowly taper down to the bottom, and then the top half, that has their usual, I hadn't noticed that, yeah, and then the top half has their usual long baffles across the top, and they do seem to keep the down in place very well. The only bit that I notice is this one here keeps the down in very well, but I did notice that this very top one, for some bizarre reason, some of the down had migrated to one side. So, you know, you might want to give it a little bit of a puff up sometimes just to encourage it, you know, back down again. But last night it was very warm, you know, in it. It was about 15 degrees last night, and it was certainly very warm in this. I think you'd be okay at 10 and maybe 8. I probably wouldn't be taking it very much lower. I think that would be too cold for it. You definitely need to be layering up with something, you know, inside at that point, and then you get a clasp there as well, which I've just noticed as well, but they all have that, and I must admit I never bother using it. I've never known a PHD zip to slip, so I've never used it. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button for more videos on all things, well, many fun things outside and any other gear stuff that I do in the future. Drop a comment below. See you soon.